Strange creatures like this have appeared around the world. Few people have claimed to see them. However, their existence has not been according to reports. We refer to these creatures as Hello everyone. Welcome to the series on ACE. In this episode, we will share about an ancient creature from Mongolia, the Death Worm. In the vast Gobi Desert of Mongolia, there exists a strange legend about a giant crimson insect. This is an unusual creature, believed to inhabit the desert. It is often described as resembling a worm. Its length ranges from 2 to 5 feet. It is approximately the size of a human arm. The entire body is red in color. Both ends have distinctive pointed horns. When it moves, it creates regular patterns in the sand. Its bodily fluids are highly toxic and can emit corrosive liquid. It is also said to have an electric discharge ability, similar to an electric eel. According to local residents, this giant insect species appears annually around June to July. They typically hide beneath sand dunes. Then they attack people and camels passing by as a food source. Images of it have been described by local residents. These clearly indicate an insect known as bobit that lives on land. The earliest records of this creature's appearance have been obscured over time. However, local nomadic tribes in Mongolia hold a strong belief in its existence. Additionally, according to witness accounts, many people have reportedly seen this creature firsthand. In 1926, an American zoologist named Roy Chapman Andrews first mentioned this creature in his book On the Trail of Ancient Man. The book states that he traveled to Mongolia to attend meetings with local officials. Although those present had never seen the creature themselves, they all believed in its existence. And there is an astonishing consistency in their descriptions. There is even a cabinet minister who mentioned that his wife's cousin encountered this creature. Of course, the most notable figure in the book is the Mongolian leader Bazar. He describes a deadly worm resembling a 2-foot-long sausage with no head and no legs. It is highly toxic. Contact results in immediate death. It inhabits the most remote areas of the Gobi Desert. As an official, his words clearly carry more weight. This incident is also documented in another book by Andrews from 1932. It is titled The New Conquest of Central Asia. The book further states that the death worm is believed to inhabit the desert regions to the west. This area has the highest concentration of sand in the Gobi Desert. Since this event, reports and related stories have gradually emerged. Although the Mongolian government has not conducted a systematic search, however, this attracted the attention of many explorers. The Czech explorer, Ivan Makler, in search of traces of the death worm, led a search team in 1990 and 1992. He traveled twice to the Gobi Desert to conduct searches. He attempted to use explosives to force the worm to appear, but was unsuccessful. According to his description, local Mongolians appear reluctant to discuss this creature. During an expedition in 1992, he reportedly received a warning from a local Buddhist monastery, stating that the death worm is a supernatural demonic entity, which led him to abandon the search. Immediately, he experienced a nightmare involving the worm. Upon waking, he found his back covered with swollen pustules. This event was documented and made into a film in 1993, titled The Mystery of the Sand Monster, and broadcast on Czech television. Those interested can seek further information. In 2004, Makler was unwilling to accept defeat and returned to Mongolia. This time, he prepared a light aircraft and equipped it with a camera to film large-scale footage of the Gobi Desert. He hoped to capture images of the creature. However, he still did not achieve any results. Coincidentally, in May 2005, a team of explorers was formed by the Fortean Zoology Centre in the UK to conduct a large-scale search lasting 1 month in the Gobi Desert. The team was led by the renowned cryptozoologist Richard Freeman. They were guided by a local Mongolian tracker. They then dammed a stream and flooded small areas of the desert, hoping to draw the death worm out of its burrow. But the results were not as expected. According to Freeman's theory, he suggested that the so-called worm is not a true worm because all multicellular invertebrates depend on water. According to his records, Most local people said to have seen or encountered this worm relied on oral accounts within families and friends. Therefore, the death worm is likely a reptile species exaggerated to appear frightening. Between 2006 and 2009, the American reality television show about supernatural phenomena, Destination Truth, as well as New Zealand journalist David Ferrier, conducted investigations into the so-called death worm. However, no conclusive evidence was found. The repeated unsuccessful searches led to growing skepticism about the existence of the Mongolian death worm. Those who have watched my video may notice that this episode does not mention any specific eyewitness accounts. This is because, during my research, as Professor Freeman has stated, most descriptions of events are quite vague. Typically, these stories are referred to as tales heard from others, or they are explanations for various missing persons cases. There was only one clear sighting in 1983. This is Russian zoologist Yuri Konstantin T. Grolov. He was working in Duranzadgad, Mongolia. He interviewed a 75-year-old local resident. During the interview, a 9-year-old boy reported discovering a death worm. Grolov immediately went outside. When he saw the creature, he realized it was a tatter python hunting. This is a type of snake with a reddish-brown coloration. It has a uniform pattern on its skin. The head and tail are difficult to distinguish at a glance. The adult female snake can reach a length of up to 1.2 meters. This species is considered to be relatively gentle. Typically, they do not attack humans. According to Grolov's assessment, the death worm is believed to be a type of snake or earthworm. Their characteristics stem from a fear of the unknown. A cryptozoologist, Carl Schuck, suggests that the death worm is a large lizard resembling a sand cobra. This lizard is also known as a legless lizard. It is a type of creature belonging to the earthworm family, living underground. Unlike snakes, their belly scales closely resemble their back scales. Their heads are smaller, resembling a large earthworm. Additionally, during my research, I discovered some very interesting observations. Many content creators have shared similar stories. In 2003, a German director named Frank traveled to Mongolia to film a documentary about a wolf pack. However, he encountered a creature known as the death worm, which resulted in the deaths of the cameraman and assistant director. The director and driver sought help from local authorities, but when they returned to the site, the two bodies had disappeared. Afterward, the two individuals kept this matter private. However, it eventually came to the attention of the European press and was reported. I also conducted a thorough search for articles related to this event, yet I was unable to gather any information. In other words, there is no information available online regarding news related to director Frank. The only thing I found was a film released in 2003 titled Son of the Desert. The monster in the film is inspired by the image of the death worm. One of the screenwriters is Frank Herbert. In summary, I believe that the likelihood of the death worm existing in Mongolia is low. First, regarding the translation of the name death worm, it is essentially an exaggerated description by explorers. Its name in Mongolian is Olgui Korkhoi. Because this creature resembles a cow intestine, in shape it was named accordingly. Furthermore, most witness descriptions suggest that it is a worm-like creature. This has led to various imaginative possibilities among viewers. In addition, the attack characteristics of the creature known as the death worm vary significantly across different regions of Mongolia. Only some locals describe it as capable of spitting a corrosive liquid. Meanwhile, the ability to emit electric discharges appears in reports from other areas. Therefore, I tend to believe that what people see as the death worm is not a single species. For example, sand wave tracks are believed to originate from rattlesnakes and sand vipers. The body, which is red, without a head or limbs, resembles a legless lizard, and the horn on its head could be inspired by horned insects. Wait, hold on. This seems similar to a mythical creature created from legends and exaggerations from different regions. Additionally, influenced by recent films and video games, this has increased human fear regarding the image of the death worm, according to interviews recorded by New Zealand journalists. The number of reported sightings of the death worm has gradually declined since the 1950s. To date, sightings of this creature have become very rare. Of course, it cannot be ruled out that this unusual creature may have become extinct over time. In any case, the unknown remains greater than the known. This is also the appeal of ACE. This concludes the video. Thank you for watching.